jointly with foreign firms. Previously, contracts always went to state-run Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. In a bid to turn India into a defence industrial powerhouse, Delhi has established 2 dedicated defence industrial corridors in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. These corridors have attracted investments and signed 250 MOUs worth millions of dollars as of February this year. Spread across 11 locations in both states, these hubs provide infrastructure and incentives to encourage growth. Sana, let me ask you first. So what kind of impact do you believe opening up this contract for the first time to the private sector will have on India's defence industrial base?
I think this is very important. I think we really need to start this public-private partnership when it comes to in defence complex. And I think it is definitely going to be a game changer in a way that it signals towards a decisive pivot in India's defence industrial strategy. It is absolutely going to make India less dependent on Russia. Its import dependencies is going to be reduced. Then it is also going to project India as the net security provider in the region, as well as a country that is going to import weapons and defense system to other countries. And we are in this Indo-Pacific region where there's a need for cheaper and perhaps better weapons than what Chinese are providing. Then I think it is also going to enhance performance-driven ecosystem. And also, I think in terms of technology transfer, when there is going to be joint venture with the companies from France, US, and other Western, Eastern European countries, I do believe that it is absolutely going to enhance and change the game when it comes to India in the industrial defense complex.
And Tony, I want to tap into your experience. You've worked for Raytheon, obviously for US Department of Defense. You've seen the rise of the South Koreans' defense sector over the past decades. What do you think has been the key to India's success?
There are several. First of all, India has been very smart about seeking foreign technology transfer to enhance its domestic defense production, from the manufacturing of the Russian MiG fighters to the British Jaguar jets and Hawk aircraft to the French-Spanish Scorpion submarines. Now India is building its own submarines, and of course the very successful Indo-Russian BrahMos missiles. These all strengthen India's domestic defense industry. I think the secrets of its success, however, is the highly educated and capable engineers and workforce that India has. And I had an opportunity to visit the India Aircraft Research and Design Center, ARDC, in Bangalore a few years ago, and I was very impressed with their abilities. So I believe that's a secret weapon. However, if I may, there's a hindrance, I believe, to the growth of India's defense industry. That is India's large bureaucracy. The project sometimes takes a long time to get approval. Then there are other administrative requirements which slows down the progress of India's domestic defense industry.
Right. Sana, are there any moves to try to streamline this, to try to, cut through this bureaucracy?
I think that's a problem that's very, very difficult for India to counter, and this is something that we have been dealing for a very long time. But I think that there is definitely a promise, like, for example, Make in India initiative and PLI. It's also for defense industry as well, production linked initiative. So I think this government has absolutely put in effort and introduced a number of schemes and initiatives. And I do believe that eventually this is definitely something that we would be able to address in the long run.
And Tony, just reflecting now on Taiwan. So we've seen India essentially go from import dependence in terms of arms to indigenous production and then global exports. Taiwan also has, a strong defense industrial complex. How does it compare?
Well, Taiwan also has a very well-educated and highly capable workforce. I think that the limitation is the size of the requirement. India is huge, so they can sustain a large defense industry. When you design and build an aircraft, you basically have the same R&D